Hello, my dear students. How are you? I hope that you all are good and safe at your home. I am Kirti, your social studies teacher. We already read our 4 chapters in a month of May. Now it's turned to a new chapter, that is chapter number 5. Our chapter name is India's Landforms. What do you understand by the word landform? We already read this in our 3rd class. Landform is a type of land or a natural feature on the earth's surface, such as a mountains, desert, plateaus, etc. Remember our chapter Mountains and Valleys in 3rd class? Correct. Okay, now come to the chapter. India is a big and beautiful country. It has a variety of landforms like mountains, valleys, plains, plateaus, and deserts. The map here shows India's main landforms and water bodies. As you can see, the southern part of India is surrounded by water on 3 sides. It is a peninsula. What is peninsula? Here it is. A peninsula is a piece of land almost surrounded by water from 3 sides. Okay. India has oceans and seas to the east, west and south. Its islands lie in the seas on the east and west. Here we have 2 islands. One is in east, that is Andaman and Nicobar, and another one is in west, that is Lakshadweep. Based on its landforms, India's land may be divided into 6 broad regions: the northern mountains, the northern plain, the Thar desert, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plains and the islands. Okay? Did you all understand this? Very good. In this chapter, we are going to read all these landforms of India in details. First is the northern mountains. Alright. A number of high mountain ranges form the northern boundary of India. Northern boundary means boundary of north side. The northernmost of these is the Karakoram range. To its south is the Himalaya. The Himalaya is made up of 3 main ranges. From north to south, they are the Greater Himalaya, the Lesser Himalaya and the Outer Himalaya. The Great Himalaya has some of the world's highest peaks. Among these are Mount Everest in Nepal, the highest peak in the world, and Kanchenjunga in India, the 3rd highest peak. Alright. Class, did you know? The Great Himalaya is the highest zone with snow-covered peaks throughout the year and rising more than 22,000 feet above sea level. And you know, it stretches all the way from Jammu and Kashmir in the west to Arunachal Pradesh in the east. Okay? The peaks of the high mountains are covered with snow. I already told you, many of them have glaciers moving down their slopes. Now, what are glaciers? Here it is. A glacier is a very large mass of ice that moves slowly down a slope. As glaciers move to the lower, warmer parts of a mountain, they melt. The resulting water often forms rivers. Okay, the Ganga rises from a glacier called Gangotri and the Yamuna rises from a glacier called Yamunotri. There are many beautiful valleys in the Himalaya. The Kashmir Valley is one of them. Another is Dehradun. Dun means valley. The mountains have many hill stations too, like Shimla, Nainital, Mussoorie and Darjeeling. Now, life in the mountains. It is difficult to build roads, railways and towns in the mountains. So, few people live here. The cold climate is good for growing fruits such as apples, pears and walnuts. Tea is grown in eastern Himalaya. Class, did you know India is the second largest producer of tea in the world? The major tea producing states in India are Assam, West Bengal, Tripura, etc. Now our next sentence is herding animals, tourism and making handicrafts such as carpet and woolen things are other ways of earning a living. It means the way that they earn money. Alright. For this they kept animals making handicrafts like jewelry, woodcraft, papercraft, knitting, lace making, carpets, woolen, etc. Now our next landform is the northern plains. The northern plains are lowlands to the south of the Himalayas. It means that they are situated to the south of the Himalayas. Okay, the plains are also known as the Indo-Gangetic plains. These plains are very fertile. You know why? Because they are watered by the river coming down from the Himalaya. On their way down, these rivers break off and carry away rocks. The rocks rub against each other and break. The broken pieces break further to form a soil called alluvium, which is very good for growing plants. When the rivers flood, this rich soil spread over the plain. So, the northern plains are formed by the soil deposited by Himalayan rivers. The main rivers of the northern plains are the Ganga, the Brahmaputra, their tributaries, and the tributaries of the Indus. Now, what is a tributary? Okay, a tributary is a river that joins a large river. Alright, for example, the rivers Yamuna, Ghagra, and Kosi are some of the tributaries of the Ganga. The tributaries of the Indus include the river Satluj, Beas, and Ravi. As a river like the Ganga comes near the sea, it slows down and deposits a lot of soil. The deposited soil forms islands. The river breaks up into small streams called distributaries, which flow around these islands. Distributary is a branch of a river that flows away from it. Alright. Now come to the chapter. The landform formed where the river enters the sea is called a delta. Did you get it? Okay. See. This is a delta. The land formed where the river enters the sea is called a delta. Alright. It is often triangular in shape. The Ganga and the Brahmaputra, which flow into the Bay of Bengal, have together formed the world's largest delta, the Sundarban Delta. Okay. Now life in the plains. Many kinds of crops such as wheat, rice and sugarcane are grown in the fertile plains. It is also easy to build roads, railways and buildings on the flat land. Remember, in northern mountains, we read it is difficult to build roads because they are mountains, hilly area. And in the northern plain, it is easy to build roads, railways and buildings because it is a flat land. This is why many people live on these plains. There are many large cities here like Delhi, Agra, Varanasi, Kanpur, Allahabad, Lucknow, Patna and Kolkata. Our next landform is the Thar Desert. The Thar Desert lies in northwestern India. It is a dry, sandy region. The sand gets blown around by the wind and forms hills called sand dunes. Look, these are sand dunes. Sand dunes are small hills of sand. Alright. The desert gets very little rain, so it has very few plants. Class, the Thar Desert, also known as the Great Indian Desert, is a large region in the northwestern part of the India, and it forms a natural boundary between India and Pakistan. Okay. Now, life in the desert. Life in the desert is hard because there is so little water. It is difficult to grow crops, but canals have been dug to carry water to the desert so that more crops can be grown. Class, it is difficult to survive in desert because there is less water with more heat. It is difficult to live in the desert as it is very hot, so there will be no water. Plants cannot grow as they need water or rain and soil to grow, so there won't be food for them to eat, and there is rarely some shade to hide under. The camel is an important animal for the people living in the desert. It is used for farm work and for transportation. The Thar Desert has a number of cities which are famous for their forts and palaces like Jaipur, Jodhpur, and Udaipur. Many tourists come to see the desert and its cities. Camels are also called the ship of desert. Correct. So, my dear students, now I'm going to over this class and we will continue this chapter in our next video tomorrow. Till then, bye, take care, and please read the chapter.